Welcome back to the Spicy Spotlight, where we dive behind the scenes of our community, one fiery bite at a time.
Today we're turning up the heat with Tiffany and Sylvia from our Community Development and Code Enforcement Department. Let's dive in.
All right, first question. So everyone has a story. What's the twisty path that led you guys into community development and code enforcement? Was it a lifelong dream, a happy accident, or maybe you lost a bet?
We eating the wing first?
We're going to eat the wing first.
Okay.
Give me a second to think about it.
This is not bad.
No, it's a good start. It's a good start. It's a good moment for you to think about how you want to answer your question.
Okay. Mine is really not too interesting, but I had a friend who was working here. It was during the boom, so everything was super crazy, and they were hiring for another admin position, and she asked me to apply, and the rest is history. 13 years later, and I'm still here.
Slowly evolving through your role.
Yeah, and we've come a long way. So, yeah.
What about you, Tiffany?
My parents' neighbor actually used to be the head of the water department, and my mom told me I had to get a summer job, and he was like, you should just apply at the city. You can go water the trees and forestry. It's going to be so easy. Turns out I didn't like doing that at all. Trees were not for me. So I applied the following year to work in code enforcement, not really knowing what that meant, and I've been here ever since, 7 years. So
Got away from being a green thumb for a moment.
yeah, not for me.
All right, so as we head off for wing number 2, how do you balance the code enforcement rules and regulations while maintaining a positive relationship with the community?
You can go ahead and take your bite.
That one's good.
Tastes like nothing.
That's how it starts.
That's how it starts. It creeps up on you and just gets you in that
And
false
maybe
sense of
everyone should
security.
know she's a professional spicy eater, and I'm a baby spicy eater, so it's going to be very interesting.
We're going to ease into it.
Want to go first on this one?
Yeah, sure. I think it's important to just remind the community that we're never like out to get them. We have a job to do just like they have a job to do, whatever it is, and mine just happens to be to tell you to mow your grass or to tell you to pick up the 25 tires you have in your front yard. And just reminding them like that's the rule. You chose to live here in that municipality where we have these rules, and you know, we're going to work with you to get it cleaned up. It's never going to be the end of the world.
So you're not just bossy.
Yes, I'm not just bossy. I do have a job to do. And this just happens to be what I get to do every
Happens
day.
to be reasons for why you send stuff out.
Yes, exactly.
And so, more specifically, so people know, Tiffany's a code enforcement officer, so she enforces all of our codes and looks after all of that. And then in my role, I am under community development, which is building, planning, and engineering. So I would say balancing it would just be knowing that everything that we're doing, there's something behind it, whether it's safety, making sure that our town looks good, and like letting people know if they're having an issue, why we're doing what we're doing, and we're not just doing it we're out to get them.
Not just picking on somebody?
No, we're not picking on anybody. And so I think once people realize that and they see the reason why we're doing it, it makes it more of a positive interaction.
Yeah, I think that's good to know. Good to know. Well, as we dive into wing number 3, what's the most rewarding part of your job?
Oh no.
Oh, you got a bite.
I'm not eating all of that. For me, it's helping people, and like I said, talking with people and letting them know what we're here for. And I guess when somebody comes in and they're having an issue with something and they might be mad about something, and then by the time they leave, we've explained it to them and we've come to a place where they're thanking us for saying, you know, thank you for explaining this to us, thank you for helping me with this, and it ends up just being a positive thing and helping them realize what we're doing here.
Get to the bottom of your
Uh-huh.
ultimate aim instead of them thinking that
Yeah.
you're just picking on everybody in the community. As
Yeah,
you-
and I
you
have
do
a
your
little
job.
bit of another one too. So we do the cemeteries. A lot of people don't know that we do the cemeteries. You know, if you need to buy a plot or something in the mausoleum, we're the ones who do that. So we have all of the records, and so I've helped a lot of people do genealogy research and help them find their loved ones, and helping people do that's also super rewarding. I like that.
I was gonna
a
say
lot.
tying families together. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a good part of the job
Yeah.
and a good
I do.
kind of a warm moment for the community.
Right.
What about you, Tiff?
I would say for every person that's irritated or upset that they got a letter from our department, there's someone on the other end that is excited to see, the violation go away. And for being here so long, there is some things that have been violations since I've started here that I've had the opportunity to finally get cleaned up, and to see that change in the community and to explain to people why we're doing it. And once it's finally done and they realize, like, yeah, we didn't want to look at 25 tires or 15 inoperable vehicles in our neighbor's yard, it's really nice when we get those calls that actually say, hey, thanks for getting that cleaned up. So we do appreciate those calls. They don't come in as often as ones with concerns, but the ones that
yeah.
come in that actually say, hey, thanks, we saw that that's finally taken care of and we appreciate that, feels good.
Are you guys better with before and after photos than we are?
Yes, we are required to have before and after pictures, so.
And then hopefully people can realize that's another thing. If you look at our community, it's a very nice community and it's nice to look at. And if we didn't have this code enforcement, it wouldn't be that way. You can go into towns that don't have hardly any code enforcement and you see it and you realize it.
It's
So
immediately noticeable.
yeah.
So branching off with that onto wing number 4, partnerships can make or break things in the government. How do you guys collaborate with other departments in the organization, and how do those play roles in what you guys do?
So are you worried?
I'm scared. I'm starting to get scared. I think you said 3 is safe.
I think up to 8 is safe for you. You'll be fine.
That's good
For you.
Yeah.
I'm good. You want to go first? Or you wanna...
Sure, sure. So, one part of my job that some people might not know about is food trucks in town do have to be licensed through the city as well as the health department. So, since we've taken that process over, working with the health department has been a breeze. I mean, they can't get their city license unless they have their license through the health department that proves it's safe for them to serve that food. And they do a really great job of making sure they send those licenses over to us, and so we can make sure that everything is good before they start just serving food to the public. So that's one that is a newer development that we hadn't been doing before. And so I shout out to the health department for being easy to work with because it makes things a breeze. But code enforcement is an overall job. I mean, we do so many things, we wear so many hats, and we dip into our toes into every department. So collaboration is really important because we can't reach compliance unless everyone here is on the same page. So for us to be able to sit down and discuss an issue and to work through it before we go out to the public with it is really important.
And within the whole city, it's actually kind of crazy how much we have to talk with other departments day-to-day basis. So between what I do, it is we're talking to the fire department, we're talking to the water department, we're talking to the police department, and finance, assessing, and all these things come together. And if you don't have a good working relationship doing those things, communicating well, something's gonna fall down the lines and it won't be good. Like there has to be a lot of communication
Yeah, it's
from
good to
everybody.
make sure it makes a good mesh and kind of fits together like a wonderful puzzle.
Yeah.
So, all right, as we go into wing number 5, we're halfway there. How does your team kind of work with the residents and businesses to ensure compliance? And as a second part to that, if you could create one initiative to strengthen the public understanding and the trust that we basically have to garner with them, what would it be?
All right.
You got this.
Still doing okay?
She's feeling pretty proud of herself
I think
right
you
now.
coated them extra lightly to be nice for me.
That was nice in
That's
there.
actually really good.
I told you
I like that. I
the
like that.
flavors are really like spot on.
So, Tiff does probably more compliance than I do, but we still have stumps, especially with planning, making sure that, you know, there's no zoning violations or anything like that. And I would say, we just try to communicate. We'll post things on the website, we'll post things on Facebook. Just, I guess, communication and letting people know what is expected of them. And I guess you do more of like your letters where you let people know. So it all, I guess, just comes down to communication and being open,
Okay.
explaining things well, letting people know why we're doing what we're doing again.
Yeah, for me, definitely our letters go out, and we get a lot of comments that they are mean and nasty, which we don't try to do. There's things we're required to get in there to make sure that it's clear and you understand what the violation is. But we're never going to immediately jump to taking someone to court, right? If we don't hear from you and something didn't get cleaned up, we're gonna give you a call. We're gonna work with you. When we go out, we don't know the story, right? We don't know why that thing is there or why it's been there for so long. We don't know what the people are going through. We have to do our job. We have to get that letter sent out. We have our contact information on there. When they come back and they explain to us, hey, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. There was no way I could get it cleaned up. Or I had a family member pass away. Can I have an extension? We're going to work with them to make sure that the end goal is compliance.
Yep.
And we don't want anyone to end up with a fine or a fee. That's not what we're here for. We really are focused on, reaching that end goal of compliance. So getting in contact with them, giving them the extension that they need, working with them, getting them resources to be successful in compliance is really important as well. So if they don't, they're an older person that can't get out and mow their lawn, providing, lists of local companies to get in contact with to help set that up so we don't have to go out there and charge them a fine to cut their grass. Those are the steps we're going to take before we, go out or we send someone to court. That is going to be that last thing we want to do. So we're going to make the phone call. We're going to stop at the house. We're going to, leave a hanger on their door just to let them know, because we don't want them to end up.
So you're saying you're willing to work with them, huh?
Yes,
Case by
definitely.
case, you're willing to work with them.
Yes, case by case, we're
Purposely
definitely
poking the
there.
bear and
Yeah.
Yes,
you can get.
yeah,
so.
exactly.
And as far as an initiative, I would say just be aware. Keep an eye out on our Facebook page for new things, whether it's projects that we're doing. Right now, there's obviously going to be a lot of road construction coming up and different projects that we're doing around the area. Watch the Facebook page, watch the website, look at the paper. You can see planning and zoning, new developments coming in. We do put something out to residents within 300 feet of any of those new developments that are happening. But everything is out there if you just look. So a lot of people find out about things after they happen. And sometimes then it's too late to do anything about it, but everything's out there. So if you just keep looking, keep
Good.
track,
Okay.
you'll be able to
Essentially,
see those
if they-
things that we're doing.
If they sign up for Facebook for the city's page, or if they go out to the website, there's a couple resources on there for projects as
Yeah,
well as
and you have your new
we got
alert that
new
we're
alert
doing.
ready basically through Civic Plus that if people go and sign up for it, they can be alerted by the street or water or any projects technically throughout the city, depending on the categories that
Yeah,
they
that's
sign
probably
up for.
one of the best things you could do is sign up for that.
Yeah.
Then you know everything that's happening.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
particular to what you're interested in.
Yep.
So
All right. Well, Wing 6 is next. With that being said, what is the most ridiculous thing you've been asked to enforce or regulate? And with that, what do you think was the actual real problem behind it?
This is a curry one.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
that is good. Tiffany's over there wondering where the heat is.
Yeah,
I-
they got
I
almost like
mean-
nothing to me.
I'm good. I'm surprised I'm as good as I am.
You're saying we should have been heavy.
I'll probably
Should I heat it
I
up?
don't think I have something for this. I think this is probably more in her wheelhouse than mine. I can't really think of anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things we do enforce, but there's also a lot of things that we can't enforce, right? We get a lot of calls. My neighbor stepped onto my property, right? That's not something that we can do. That's trespassing. You need to call the non-emergency dispatch. Recently, I got a call asking to stop the train from driving at night. We don't have anything to do with that.
Please get on that.
Yes, I'm sorry that it was keeping you awake, but I don't have anything to do with that. And a lot of times we get calls about people whose neighbors don't bring their trash cans in from the curb,
That is a big one.
which is it annoying? Yes. Are they breaking any code? No, as long as they're not blocking the sidewalk and you have access. Would we like for them to return their trash cans and recycling bins? Yes, but it's not really something that we can get out there and harp on them for or give them a violation for. So I think just be mindful. You don't know what's going on, right? They maybe went out of town and they put their trash can out before they left.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of silly things, but
I think I heard one once that the neighbor thought that their neighbor had moles in their yard and they were coming in and like going under their fence and coming into their yard. I think that was a while ago, but somehow they wanted us to enforce
Somehow
that
that
too.
became your problem.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Animal control that one.
yeah.
And with that, as we go to Wing 7, there's a lot of misconceptions about you guys' field. What's some common ones that people have about code enforcement or just development practices in general? I feel like as the sauce dried on there, it lessened it a little bit.
It did.
How's that one, Sylvia?
It's coming.
That was good. I like that one.
That one's hot. I can
like
feel
that
that one it's the first one I felt in the back of my throat.
I like that one.
It's like, yes, this is how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So 7 is where it starts getting hot. The bomb's the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. I think we kind of touched on this before, but a lot of people, I think, have a bad perception of the city and thinking that we're out to get them, we're out to collect more fees. It's just not that way. There's something behind everything that we're doing, and it's for the residents, it's for our town. Somehow these ordinances and rules were brought to light because of some reason. We didn't just make it up. So, just for them to keep that in mind, I think would be important. That would be one of the misconceptions.
I
Probably
think
on your end too.
Yeah, I would second everything that she said, but for code enforcement specifically, our full title is Code Enforcement Officer, so a lot of people connect the word officer with police, and that isn't something we do, right? We can't write a ticket, we don't have a badge, we don't, have a bulletproof vest. There's not, we are very separate things we
You
do.
might feel like you need one.
Yes. Sometimes there is. Sometimes I'm like, wow, okay, but yeah, we are separate from the police department. We do work in collaboration with them to help people reach compliance. If there's a car that's been abandoned on the street for 2 months, right? And we get a call about it. We forward that on to the police because they are the ones that can write that ticket and have the tow truck come and remove it. So although we have the term officer in our title, it's really just a word. If it's written out in the code, we have the authority to enforce it, but we aren't always necessarily the one that is out on the street doing that enforcement or, removing something. We do a lot of contract work. So, we're definitely not police officers.
And I think that misconception comes from other communities where the code enforcement falls underneath the police
correct.
versus where in Dickinson it falls underneath
Yes.
community development.
Correct. Yep.
All right. Next one, Wing 8. The bomb. Memorable moments from code enforcement. Funny stories, things that just stick with you. What have you got?
I think I'm gonna have to switch now. I'm scared. You like it?
I mean, it's warm, but
I mean, the flavor is not like
the flavor's not
super
there.
good,
Yeah, the
but
flavor is not good.
I like the spice.
It's actually not as bad as it smelled.
Mm-mm. For sure.
I think that's the worst piece. You're sitting there smelling them.
That one's good too.
There it is. Yep. Not as bad as I thought,
Yeah,
but
you're still you
Here
got,
we
you got
are.
the 8 so far.
Yep,
2 left.
only 2 left.
That one is good.
What type of funnies you guys got?
Well, I guess this isn't necessarily in relation to our jobs, really.
job. We'll go away
But-
from the job series.
Yeah. Last year? Was it last year
I
already?
think so.
Around April Fool's time, we had planned to do a prank that was intended to stay within our department. So we bought like, I don't know, like 100 or
It was
like
500.
500 itty bitty little ducks. And we were hiding them in the building inspector's offices and things. And then we were kind of talking, discussing, you know, it would be kind of funny if we just started putting them all around City Hall to see who noticed. In the end, HR found us out and decided we should make it a competition. That wasn't the initial plan. So we were hiding ducks, I mean,
Everywhere.
everywhere.
All day replenishing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
We'd see
people
it
would
was
find
gone. We'd put another one. Yeah, and I mean, in the basement, upstairs, like, places people weren't even...
I don't think you guys played.
We know who's guilty.
Yep.
Oh, we collect them for Rhonda.
Oh.
Yeah. And in the end, because it was a competition, we had to, like... I ended up going home and rhinestoning one of these itty-bitty tiny ducks to be, like, the winning duck. So that took up my personal time. But, I mean, it turned out so cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
It was
That was
fun.
a fun touch for the
We
day.
hid it in the flag in the commission room.
That's
It took
right.
a while for someone to find it.
Yeah. And after that, I mean, I still have, like, hundreds of ducks in my desk.
They're all over. You'll see in people's desks, all over. They count
Windowsills.
them.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and in the end, we ended up getting matching sparkly duck tattoos.
Yep.
So we will have that.
awesome.
I don't know if you
That's
guys
awesome.
even knew that.
Nope, did not know that.
We will have that forever.
On my ankle,
See it?
you guys can't see it.
Yeah, I got mine on my thigh.
Yeah.
So we, like, after it was done, we decided we should get glitter duck tattoos, and now we'll be bound forever
Yeah,
by
for
our
our
duck
duck
tattoos.
And I have one more.
Go for
One
it.
more.
So this is also was not at work related, but we do have a yearly employee appreciation party, and quite a few years ago we had it at the Eagles Club, and you know, they put salt on the floor so you can dance better, do like two-step better.
Yep.
Well, they put way too much salt all over the floor. Were you at that one? I don't know.
Yeah,
Were
I think
you
so.
there? And a whole bunch of people ended up falling all night long.
Oh my.
Like, I had like a 3-year injury on my thumb from falling backwards. Somebody fell on their head, so it was funny and not funny, but that is a
Dangerous
memorable and
employee
funny.
appreciation right there.
Yeah. So
Well, as we get closer to the end here, how can community members play a more active role in supporting development projects and maintaining that compliance that you guys spoke about?
We gotta eat our wing first.
Yeah.
my mentally like not wanting to, so. Oh, that one doesn't smell good.
That one stinks.
Really bad. Ooh. That one tastes worse than that one.
Still with us, Sylvia?
They take a while.
They creep up.
They'll,
on you.
they'll
They're
get,
really creepy.
they'll get you while you're speaking.
I know, that's what I'm scared about.
No, they're really creepy.
I guess I might repeat myself from the last one, but just keeping aware and following, you know, what we put out there online. I guess, and also like calling if you have questions. We are always here to answer any questions. We like informing the public of what's going on.
Yep.
You
got 'em.
I got it right on my sciences.
And it's kind of hard to talk when it's up on your sciences too.
I guess I'll follow up. I would definitely agree. Give us a call. We're here, and I mean, I'm less in my office because I'm out actually doing the inspections in the field, but leave us a message, get a hold of someone. The best thing you can do is just call and ask. If you don't know, you're more likely to get a good answer if you call versus just doing something and then we find you later, right?
Yep.
If you don't know if you need a building permit, just call. If you don't know if you can put your shed this close to your fence, give us a call. If you don't know where your fence can go, we can draw it up for you. Those are things that we do every day and are a part of our job.
Yeah, we can totally help. We can totally help you along the whole way. Also, I would say watch our meetings.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on right now, so watching them, community development, planning and zoning meetings, city commission meetings, board of adjustment meetings. I think people can actually get super educated by watching those meetings. Or if you want to just read the minutes online, come to the meetings.
Yeah.
If you have something to say, get up there and say it, you know?
Be involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be involved.
Okay.
Good lesson for them.
All right, last wing. If you get every resident, it's in the sciences.
I know that last one
Last
must
one's-
have something like, it's like wasabi type feeling.
Yeah, see, I finally broke all the sciences. Let's
Yeah.
do the last one now.
Wrong.
So, if you get every resident or business owner to do one thing to make your job easier, what would that be?
And with that,
Eat
the last
number
one.
10.
Gosh.
I feel like I can't taste anything after the last one.
That's how all hot things are.
Yeah, that one tastes like nothing.
You're still reeling from the number 9.
I'm like waiting.
When you start talking, you'll get it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I can go first.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say on the code enforcement end of things, if you simply could just cut your grass before it reaches 10 inches, you will never hear from me. Yeah, that is like the number one violation we send out. This summer, I think we send over like 600 letters every year just for grass that exceeds 10 inches. So if you can stay like on top of that, you will literally never hear from our department. Yeah, I mean,
Mow your grass.
yeah,
Shovel your snow.
yeah, those are like the two biggest things that you can do. Mow your grass, shovel snow. And like I said, if you were gone or out of town, like we don't know that, so we're probably gonna get a letter, but if you call and say, hey, I was out of town, we're gonna be like, okay, you can have an extra weekend to get it done. We know it. Or, you know, lots of people here work in the oil field, so they're gone multiple weeks. Those are things we don't know. But if you give us a call, we'll just talk to you and let you know, hey, this is what you got it for. If you can just get it done this weekend, super. And then you'll be good to go. And that is the number one violation we send out every single year. So I mean, I don't mow my own grass, I guess, so I can't say it. My husband does that, so, but yeah, it typically, not many people have like huge yards. Like a lot of times it's these smaller yards that take, 15, 20 minutes. So yeah, we appreciate when you get it done and we'll work with you to get it completed, but that would be the number one thing I think that they could do.
And I think mine goes back to the last one. Just ask.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just call and ask. If you don't know if you need a building permit, call us. If you're thinking about, you have 2 lots and you want to combine them together, you don't know what to do, call us. We'll go through it with you step by step. If you're mad about a construction project, wondering why is it taking so long, just call and ask.
Yeah.
It's just about awareness, and like I said, give us a call. Like, we like talking to people. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? And we like letting them know why we're doing things, and just open communication.
It's a great one to end with as a
Yeah.
good closer there. And you survived.
I survived!
You survived.
I did it!
So-
I'm so proud.
Thank you guys so much for joining us, sharing your perspective today. We'd like to thank everyone who's out there listening and watching this as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and just reach out to us if you want to give us any topic ideas for future Spicy Spotlights.